Well, the rain won't go away, but the boys, they are going to come out to play. Defense Force versus Deportivo Point Fortin as the Ascension tournament match week 11 gets set to kick off here at the La Joquita Recreation Ground. It is rainy conditions. It has been quite rainy in Trinidad and Tobago for the past few days, and well, it continues. More rain expected until late tomorrow. 29 degrees, quite humid, but it is conditions that footballers always relish on the La Joquita Recreation. The ground has taken quite a beating last match week 10, of course, lots of rain. Taking a look at the standings, Terminex Rangers, they sit pretty on top, but they've got to watch out because Defense Force, who are in action today, they are just behind in 26 points, followed by Police on 21 and Deportivo Point 14 on 20, so just 6 points separating the top of the table from fourth place. Colin Murray is alongside me as we get set for what is expected to be an exciting matchup. But let's talk about the bottom of the table, Moruga, who are going to be coming up against the league leaders, Terminex Rangers.
Yeah, well, it's going to be, as I say, good afternoon to you, James, and to everybody. It's going to be a tough encounter for Moruga. I don't expect anything from that. But this first game is going to be a really good game between Defense Force and Deportivo. When they first met in the first round, they drew 1-1. And I expect another very tight game. I think both teams are going to go for it. Deportivo, they have more to gain if they can get 3 points. As you rightly mentioned, they're just 6 points off the top. If they can get a victory here, it will really help the chances moving forward in this tournament. The thing is, we have seen a lot of rain, and you look around, it doesn't seem to be stopping immediately. So this field is going to be very heavy, and because of that, it makes for a good competition. And I think it evens off things because, you know, because it's going to be a heavy field, the passing has got to be good. The back passing, some of the back passes sometimes can be very dangerous. So it's going to be a very interesting encounter between Defense Force and Deportivo. Let's look at the field. When you look at it, it's holding up good, but I expect it to be very, very heavy conditions.
Maybe a red flag for the conditions expected ahead. Just a slight breeze across the ground as the precipitation continues. It's expected to continue for the remainder of the evening. Hasn't stopped the party here in La Joquita, and much expected in this matchup. Point Fortin, of course, perhaps one of the more informed teams in the competition. They've gotten 4 wins in their last 5 matches. And, their form certainly has been good in recent matches. They've also conceded perhaps one of the fewest amount of goals, just 8 in the competition so far.
Yeah, and it's pouring here with, you can see the rain here. It's really belting down at the La Joquita Recreation Ground. The thing with Deportivo, they're missing some key players. And, it's a matter of, who is going to miss their key players more. Is it going to, and I honestly think Deportivo is going to miss their players a little bit more. I mean, you don't replace Marvin Phillip in goal that easy. I like Mark Ramdeen as well. He's been having a good tournament wide on the left. But, they're missing a few players, and it's going to be how well can they cope with those players that are not going to be playing tonight.
Well, speaking of that, of course, the big matchup, Andre Etienne is out for Point Fortin. Right. Brent Sam and his physicality in the air. He's been one of the top players, 7 goals in the competition for Brent Sam. He's very good in the air. Andre Etienne provides that physicality for Point Fortin. He's going to be out tonight. Is that a hole that perhaps Defense Force can exploit, you think?
Again, I didn't mention him, but Etienne he's been a solid man at the back. He's a big presence. He's going to be missing. The thing with Brent Sam, he tends to come wide. So I'm not too sure how much of a threat he will pose in the middle of the defense of Deportivo. So, but Boatswain by himself, he's a real threat. He scores goals for fun. So it's going to be an interesting battle between the Defense Force forwards, Sam, Boatswain, and even Bertrand, and the makeup of that Deportivo defense. Probably Rondell Phillip is going to play as a centre back with Paul Garcia and Cornwall. And is it Cornwell? He will play Cornwall. He'll play wide, and probably just Pacheco and Garcia are going to sit in as defensive midfielders. So it's going to be a very interesting tactical game that Deportivo will have to play against the defense force. There as well, it's going to be a good tactical game, I think. And I suppose who gets the tactics right will eventually walk away with winners. But listen, James, this can go either way, and even a draw, as they did in the first round.
Well, there's much talk about the ground conditions. 11 match weeks played here at the Larkita Recreation Ground. Finally, some signs of wear and tear. Rainy conditions contributing to that. How will the ground conditions, you think, affect the quality of this match?
Well, it's going to be difficult. It's not. I don't expect to see a lot of short passing, because once that ground gets a little heavy, they're going to have to play the long balls. They're going to have to probably play it wide, create the space, and let the guys go down the sides, get the ball in to the strikers. So I don't expect to see a lot of short passing. Defense force tends to play the ball at the back a lot, and then they play that long ball over the top of the defenders for the striker or the wide men running onto it. And I expect to see a lot of that today. I don't expect to see a lot of midfield play because of the ground conditions. I expect both teams going to spread the ball wide, get those guys going up the sides of the field, and then probably try to get it over the top of the defense for the strikers, as I say, to run onto it. So it depends, it depends how heavy this ground gets if it continues raining like this.
All right, well, we had an opportunity to speak to the coaches of the teams, and we spoke with Deportivo's Selwyn Francis. Defense Force coach Lloyd Andrews is with me. Your team's still unbeaten in the competition right now, but you're coming up against a red-hot Point 14. They got 4 wins in their last 5 matches. What's the preparation like for this game?
Just like all the other games, we prepare to win, and no different today.
You're going to be missing some players. Kevin Goddard is missing. Also, Rion Moore on international duty. Does that affect the dynamics of your team in any way?
No, because we're not dependent on 1 or 2 men. We have a team.
And also looking at you, you've considered the least goals in the tournament, 5 goals in the tournament. What do you think has contributed to that?
The defensive arrangement have created what I will call recovery runs as much as possible to help out the 4 defenders in the back. So that would have good goalkeeping also would have assisted us.
Also looking at Point 14, they're missing some players as well, but they have been in good form. What do you make of their new form, and does that concern you in any way in your preparation?
Well, they have been improving from day one, and that is something that we took into consideration in our preparation to come out on top this evening.
All right, well, we hope that you keep that smile at the end of the match, and good luck.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, I'm here at Point 14, Coach Selwyn Francis. You're in a bit of form now. 4 wins in your last 5 matches. You're coming up against Defense Force. They are unbeaten. That makes a good contest.
Yeah, very good contest. I expect it to be a very tactical game, and you will see who bring it home in the end.
What are the keys to getting a positive performance in this match, you think, for Point 14?
Well, what we have to do is continue to keep the ball. We want to keep building on the last game we had. We really keep finding a little form. We want to keep possessing the ball more, managing the game a little better. And when the opponents come, take the opportunity.
Both Defense Force and Point 14, you've conceded the least goals in the tournament. What kind of match can we expect in this contest?
Well, I hope it doesn't be a boring match for the fans, you know what I mean? But we intend to come out firing. So I could only talk for my team. We intend to come out firing.
You're missing some players as well, national duty, most notably Etienne and Marvin Phillip at the back. How does that affect your team?
Well, Etienne is on big shoes to fill, but I think we have enough cover. We have cover, and only at the end of the game I would know if we miss him. But all for now, I think we have enough cover for that.
Well, we look forward to an exciting game. Thank you very much, Coach.
All right.
Well, there we heard from the 2 coaches. Very interesting. Defense Force coach talking about a tactical battle and missing the players. But, both teams seem very confident going out here today. And we should expect a very exciting game. Let's take a break. And when we come back, it's going to be live action here at the La Joqueta Recreation Ground.
situation we have here is that these characters, and I refer to them as pests, right? What they are doing is destroying our country, but not on my watch. No street, no turf, no block shall belong to these cockroaches, right? It's no longer business as usual. Happy hour is over. If they don't fear God, at least they will fear Terminix.
Have you considered how your methods could impact on pests across the country?
I find we look after the rights of pests as opposed to the rights of the 1.3 million law-abiding citizens in Trinidad and Tobago. I wonder if Roach Ladin's son come here for carnival, if you'll interview him, eh?
But how could you defend one shot, one kill?
What, you want me to throw a pillow at him?
I didn't say that.
No, well, if a roach jumps in front of...
Well, evasive actions being taken by our cameraman, Mark Lorignad. Hard-working chap. And, well, tell you what, they're going to be sheltered up all day today because rain expected until the late evening here in La Hogata. Welcome back to the Ascension Tournament, Match Week 11. Defense Force getting ready to take on Deportivo Point 14. In just a minute, we will introduce the team lineups as we see them come out as well.
Yeah,
what conditions?
The thing is, James, the rain just is, it doesn't seem to be stopping anytime. This rain is going to go on for a little while, and it's going to change these conditions. We talk about a heavy field, and you mentioned about the wear and tear. Here are the officials coming out with the teams, but if this rain persists, this ground is going to be very, very heavy.
Crystal Sobers will lead a contingent of referees, and at her far left, the first female official in this Ascension tournament, Melissa Aguilera. Sobers, of course, a very experienced official, 33 years old, the former right back for Bishop Anstey High School. And Melissa Aguilera, to your far left, the sister of former West Indies captain Marissa Aguilera. She is the first assistant female referee in the Ascension tournament. Houghton Hector, captain of Deportivo Point 14, will lead his charges to do the pleasantries, meeting up with Curtis Gonzalez and the rest of the defense force. Brent Sam, much expected from him, 7 goals in the competition. He will be expected to shoulder much of the burden of attack for defense force, together with Jamil Boatswain. They've contributed 17 goals between them, the pair.
I was going to make the point as well, James. The winner of this game is who adjusts to this outfield in terms of who adjusts in just the bounce of the ball, how the ball is going to skid through. That is going to be very, very important. And who adjusts better will be victorious. Let's have a look at the team list.
Well, Terence Lewis will be in goal, replacing Marvin Phillip, who is away on international duty. No Andre Etienne in defense. His place will be occupied by Rondell Phillip. And in attack, Omri Baird, perhaps scoring one of the goals of the tournament. He's back in the lineup together with Ezekiel Kisa. And, of course, another player missing due to international duties. So 3 players in total missing for Deportivo Point 14. Selvon Francis is the coach.
Actually, I'm seeing Mark Ramdeen there. He's on the bench. So I'm surprised. I thought he wasn't on the team at all.
Well, Ramdeen has been relegated to the bench these days. Christopher Biggats in goal for Defense Force, and he will lead a Defense Force team. Still very strong despite the absence of their 7-goal scorer, Rian Moore, also away on international duty. Kevon Goddard is missing. Kasim Keller gets a surprise place in midfield, replacing the likes of Hashim Asir, who's been relegated to the bench. Justin Sadu was recently called up for national duty. He is back with the squad, while Shaquille Bertrand will also fill in attack. Brent Sam will lead the attack. Lloyd Andrews, coach of the Defense Force.
So it's just about getting ready for action here. This should be a very good game. Very entertaining game, I think. But the conditions, that is going to play a major factor. Who settles down on these conditions better may very well come out victorious.
Well, that's the competition's leading goal scorer, Jamil Boatswain. 10 goals in the competition. Just 1 more than Kevon Showtime Woodley. Well, he's got big gloves to fill. Terence Lewis, the former St. Benedict's man, replacing national goalkeeper Marvin Phillip. And Crystal Sobers says it's time to play on the wet conditions at the Larkita Recreation Ground. Defense Force versus Deportivo Point 14. Well, Isaiah Phillip has lost it in a bad area here. And, well, he's done well to recover.
Can't give away the ball in that kind of area, not in your defensive third. You're asking for trouble. Lucky got away with it.
Again, the wet conditions, and he gives away possession. Unfortunately for him, the final touch came off of Brent Sam. Garcia. And again, another sloppy pass.
Yeah, they're going to try and play these short passes. You've just got to get that ball down. Get it away as fast as possible from your defensive third. Hit it long. Let your strikers run onto it. Just as Defense Force is doing now.
In search of Boatswain, can't control it. Puffed away by Paul. Here's Garcia. No handball spotted as Justin Sad, who tries to get forward.
I expect we're going to see a lot of those tackles today, James. Sliding tackles across this outfield. It's going to be really wet conditions here, heavy conditions, and you're going to see a lot of sliding tackles.
Well, that's a good ball in, looking for Houghton Hector. Just too long for him, but Isaiah Hudson can keep it alive, and the first shot of the match whiskers away from the far post, and, well, just like that, he struck, couldn't hit the target.
And he should have hit the target. I mean, he was in acres of space. He was on his favored left foot. The goalkeeper was out of position. There was no pressure on him. He should have hit the target. Look at it, James. He should have gone. He went for the far post, but he just hooked it a little too wide. He should have put that into the back of the net.
Well, that's a man who certainly knows how to find the net, Isaiah Hudson. Not on that occasion. And, well, this time, too long for him, kept alive by Cornwall. It's going to take Jules Lee for a run. Pacheco looking for Hudson. Well cut out in the end. Hector. Hudson is in. A space if he can keep it in. And his first time effort is easily picked out.
Deportivo, they've started well. Certainly now the offside flag goes up. But they've started very, very well and looking to take the game to Defense Force. And I like the style so far of Deportivo. They're not intimidated by this team that is unbeaten in the Defense Force.
Well, here's Jamali Garcia getting a start in place of his namesake, Justin Garcia. It's a big change in defense to Defense Force. As Cooper loses possession, but does win a throw. So lots of changes for both teams. Spoke with the coaches earlier, not expecting that the tactical style of play would change very much. That's left to be seen.
Yeah, well, it's just a matter of them fitting certain players into the system. And once you do that, then you shouldn't really worry too much about a tactical change.
Well, he's got the attention of Sadu, but he's done well to get past it. Did catch him in the end, Jules Lee. And no whistle, as Crystal Sobers says it's a goal kick. Well, he's going to have a different feeling about that, I can tell you that much. Omri Baird did score one of the goals of match week 10. And, well, the right foot produced some magic last week. This time it's in pain.
It appeared to me, James, the trailing leg just caught Baird as he was going past. And thankfully he's up and running around, so he's all right.
Felix. Looking for Boatswain, who gets Brent Sam going. He can get past Garcia. Not particularly well cleared. It's kept alive by Cooper. And again, sluggish conditions, and it's away with Baird. Bit slow. Won by Gonzalez. Well cut out Cornwall. Oh, they'll battle for this one here. And, well, this new player in defense for Deportivo gets his first touch.
It's a bit of pushing on Boatswain.
But he's got a big role today. No Andre Etienne paired alongside him in defense. Rondell Paul still alive here. Pacheco to come away with it. Well, not quite sure he intended to do what he did. He's fortunate to get away with it. There have been some big changes in both these defenses. No Justin Garcia for defense force, he's been a mainstay. No Andre Etienne for Point Fortin. I'm sure that the new pairings will be tested. Oh yes, Bertrand. He's found some space for himself here. He can get a good service in. Well cut out in the end by Paul.
He's won a corner, which is excellent. Good run up the right side by Bertrand. Just thought he should have got it a bit airborne. But again, the conditions here, James, because it's so wet, once that ball is skidding across this field, it can make the defenders' lives very, very difficult.
Sadu is going to look for one of 6 yellow shirts inside the area.
It's a good corner.
Well, does get a hand, Lewis, but has he done enough? Well, it flashes wide. And, well, they came as close to scoring the opening goal of the match as has been for the team in yellow.
He should have hit the target. Thought it was easier to hit the target than send it wide. I don't know if he was looking for placement more than anything else, but he should have just hit it. Let's have a look. He should have hit the target. No one was around him, wasn't tackled, and he had all the time in the world.
Might argue he's a centre-back.
Well, I
Not really
suppose
expected to always hit the target.
I suppose so. If you're a centre-back, you're more or less looking to hit it over the bar, don't you? But he should have hit the target, really. He was in total control.
Well, they're linking up well. Joe Hudson tries to get Hector going, a bit too straight, all the way through to Bigot. Well, Brent Sam will test Isaiah Garcia's aerial prowess to succeed in winning a throw for his team.
Both teams trying to play good football in these conditions, and you've got to give them credit because it's difficult.
Felix stretching the Point Fortin defense.
That's a
Picks
good
out
ball.
Bertrand. Oh, that's a good touch. Well defended though by Cornwall. Well, that clearance is not a good clearance, and Brent Sam could be in here. Well, Isaiah Garcia, he's not 9-1-1, but he came to the rescue.
Good defending, absolutely good defending. Sam did well. He took that ball, he took it and controlled it and turned with it, and Garcia did well. He did very, very well.
Chance still open. Oh, that's a good save, Terence Lewis. And I think that might just have lost his footing there, Boatswain, as he looked for the rebound.
I thought that was a brilliant save, absolutely brilliant. Is this team's, are they missing Marvin Phillip? Because that was an absolute cracker. It was a brilliant shot and an even better save. What was good about it, you talked about Boatswain in terms of losing his footing, but I thought when Lois went to his left, he actually punched it away from Boatswain.
Well, he is highly rated though, Terence Lewis. Number 2 for Marvin Phillip in goal for Deportivo Point Fortin. Former St. Benedict College goalkeeper.
If possible, I'd love to have a look at that save again. It was absolutely brilliant. What I liked about it is when he dived, he actually punched it. He didn't try to push it, he punched it.
Well, Hudson could be in, the flag stays down, but too long for him in the end. And well, that's what wet surfaces do. They slip, and it's difficult to catch. Oh, we're inside the first 10 minutes, and it's 10 minutes that has failed to produce a goal here at the Larkwater Recreation Ground between second place Defence Force and fourth place Deportivo. Well, the good news, Colin Murray, the rain has eased up.
That's, yep. Actually, and it's some clear. When you look to the right, the skies are a little bit clear now, so that's good.
Well, Cornwall really loses an individual battle. Did well yet again. Hudson, on the other end, he manages to keep possession. Here's Nathaniel Garcia. And the intended pass to Garcia is deflected.
Should have done better. Should have done better, Kisa. Should have got that ball down that line. But I like the approach so far from Deportivo. They're moving forward nicely. They're using the width of the field, and they're finding the players. This hasn't been a bad start from them.
Has space to swing one in here, and too close to Bigot, and well, too far from the goal. It's a goal kick. Was called up for the Trinidad and Tobago national team training squad, Isaiah Garcia. Didn't make it to the Nations League final squad, but he did impress Coach Angus Eve enough to be called up.
This is Gonzalez. Tends to play these long balls up forward, looking for Boatswain.
But he's done well, and it's gone against him. It's not a happy expression from Hudson Charles that we saw there.
I was just about to say that. He's and I'm not surprised, because Deportivo, they're taking the game to defense force. I think it's been a really good start from them.
Will be a Deportivo throw. Well, Point Fortin have certainly been one of the most informed teams in the recent games. 4 wins on the trot for the men from the Southwestern Peninsula. Well, this is well played by Cooper. The team certainly have struggled connecting the dots in the slippery surface.
Boatswain tends to barge himself through, doesn't he? He's a bully, and you know, he just never relents. He's just going after the ball, and he's a big guy, Boatswain, and it's not easy to shake him off the ball. And he just was pushed in the end to get the foul.
Lee with a chance to swing one in, can't get it past Pacheco. Does fall kindly for Brent Sam though. Versus Garcia, he's gotten the step on him, and Paul comes to the rescue. A corner.
No doubt was thinking maybe Sadu would be going to take it, but it seems to be Felix is going to take the corner for defense force. Probably looking for the big man in that middle, Sam.
I'll keep your eye on that left side battle between Sam and Garcia. Should be an interesting watch. Can he find a yellow shirt? It's away by Paul. Felt inviting in the area for a second. But here's one man that can be dangerous on the other end. Houghton Hector had his pocket picked though. Felix. Space to swing one in. And unconventional to say the least, but it was effective and was fouled in the process.
What is good about this defense force team, James, they tend to soak up some pressure, but when they get the ball, they maneuver it well. They move it left to right. You see Lee getting into the play. You see Felix on that side getting into the play, and then you got Bertrand going up the right side and Sam going up the left side. So once they get possession, they're a very, very dangerous team.
Well, certainly in command, Crystal Sobers.
She's a good referee, isn't she? Been very impressed with her over the years.
She was the second highest rated CONCACAF referee in 2021, Crystal Sobers.
Somebody's getting a yellow card.
And she's never afraid to dish out the punishment for naughty behavior.
It looks to be, is it looks to be Felix who's got that yellow card.
Sobers, of course, did start her career. She was part of the national under-20 squad a couple of years ago, played as a right back. That squad included the likes of current national captain Karen and Kamika Forbes. So she did play the game herself, Sobers, before a newspaper advertisement changed her mind and she decided to become an official.
She looks like a tough type of right back.
Well, here's Hector's service, and Hudson tries to keep it alive, wins the throw. Trying to pile on pressure now is Cornwall. Easily cut out. Can Hudson keep it alive? It's Cornwall. And
on a corner.
Some defensive duties there. Shows that it goes out for a corner. It's always good to see your attackers putting in a defensive shift. And those gentlemen, they've traveled a mighty long way. Members of the Moruga technical staff. They're coming up next against the league leaders, Terminix Rangers. It's Houghton Hector. Can he make something happen for Point Fortin?
It's a good corner.
But it's still alive here. They're going to scramble for this one, and the acrobatic clearance gets it only as far as Kisa. Maybe from distance. Well, just missed his mark, didn't he? But he had the right idea.
And just couldn't get it on target. So there is confirmation of the yellow card. Jelani Felix getting the yellow card.
Well, it's a rugged affair in the middle of the park. Houghton Hector dances his way through the yellow shirts. Hudson been pretty involved on the left side as he peels away now to create an offensive opportunity.
But what a good turn from Hudson. He had Lee all beaten. Beautiful turn.
Well, he knew exactly what the game plan was and he took no chances. Ronald Paul.
The defenses of both teams so far have been pretty good. Would you like to be saving there, James?
Was always a pretty boy, never liked getting dirty. Well, his white shirt tells a different story though. Not sure it's white anymore. Can Bertrand get involved? His pass is cut out.
And you did say that both these defenses have conceded the least amount of goals in the tournament, and it's showing. I think both defenses are playing pretty good at the moment.
Felix finds Brent Sam in space. Hasn't been very involved so far in this match. That can change in the blink of an eye. They've seen that before.
What has been good with both, especially with Deportivo, if you notice, they're not allowing the cross balls to come. They're closing down Bertrand and Sam very quickly. Once they try to get that ball across, both defenses are closing them down, and which is great, because you don't want that ball to be coming across that 6-yard box.
Hector is muscled out of possession, and defense force will charge forward in numbers. Cooper, it's a good challenge. Pacheco, well, his pass is cut out. Just been trading passes as Brent Sam bursts forward, trying to find his attacking partner. But you did mention short passing would have been difficult in these conditions.
And it's showing, isn't it? Use the width of the field as Bertrand is doing.
Looking for options here. Cooper, muscled out of it by Philip. Garcia dances his way out of trouble, trying to get Hector involved. Well, it's been quite scrappy to say the least, as Omri Baird pass is cut out.
Hector was making a good run going down that right side. Had he found Hector, he could have posed a real problem for defense force. But that's excellent from Bertrand. Absolutely brilliant.
All the yellow shirts keep it alive, trying to carve open some spaces in the Point Fortin defense. Lee gets Cooper, gets Bertrand involved. Oh, he's gone past Cornwall. It's not often that you see that. Can he carve something open here? Well, how did he miss from there, Brent Sam? We've seen him put in the back of the net 7 times in the competition. He just felt that that might have been one of them.
Give Garcia credit though. He closed him down quickly and he went with him because that was important. Bertrand did fabulously. He got around the man. Look at that ball. That's a brilliant ball. But look at Garcia getting in front of Sam and ensuring that Sam didn't have a clear shot on goal. He certainly saved the goal there, Garcia. Excellent defending by him.
Well, Lewis gets in on the footy act. He's quite comfortable on his feet, the former St. Benedict's man.
That's a foul.
Bit of over-exuberance there from Keller. Well, we haven't seen much goal mouth action in this contest so far.
Probably, you look at that last one with Sam, you would have to say it's probably one of the best chances. But having said that, the defending of Garcia was really fabulous. He got in front of Sam. Had he not got in front of Sam, that would have been 1-0 for defense force, no doubt.
Oh, that's clever. Got past Garcia with some ease. Can he get Bertrand going? Oh, Cornwall resolved not to be beaten twice.
But again, we see defense force, James, going wide. Bertrand is actually hugging the line and using the width, and they're using the width of the field, which is excellent. And they've got to pay a little closer attention to Bertrand, because if he continues to go up that right side, get the ball over, sooner or later, defense force is going to take the lead.
Well, Point Fortin have struggled getting Houghton Hector involved in the match. He was the man of the match in their last fixture when they took on Kunupia FC. This time he struggled to get any kind of space. Sadu. Gonzalez. And, well, this time, Butcher not receiving the signal. But it's a good time to say hello to everybody locked on across the region on Sportsmax, via our Sportsmax app, and of course on YouTube. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago, the Ascension tournament. Deportivo Point Fortin against the Defense Force.
One of the bigger games. You're talking second playing, what, 4?
Well, Jules Lee lucky to escape there as Sadu tries to get it forward. Cooper swung some space, maybe a shot here.
Should have shot. He had the opportunity, just one touch too much.
Looking for Botswain. Rondell Paul keeps it out. They'll try again to Brent Sam.
He's having a real time with Garcia, isn't he?
Felix, and well, from Garcia, a bit more than he can handle. It's almost like you're looking at a chess match, Colin Murray.
Yeah. And Deportivo, they're holding their own. You know, they're defending well, I think. You just made an interesting point. They need to get Houghton Hector into this game a little bit more. He's been roaming, really. He's been coming on the left, he's gone over on the right. They just need to get these balls over the top for him to run onto.
Oh, we spoke about the form of Deportivo. 4 wins in their last 5. Defense Force, though, they're yet to be beaten in the competition. They've registered 3 points in their last 6 matches. Currently tied on points at least with Terminix Rangers.
So
However, the points gap at the top of the table, it's very small between fourth and first. Just 6 points separating Point Fortin from the top.
this is what I'm saying. If Deportivo gets 3 points tonight, they're very much in the picture.
Hudson would try to contribute with that. Not with passes like that, though. Houghton Hector. Hudson. Some space now for Baird. And too long for Hudson. Still keeps it alive, though. Maybe Houghton Hector. Maybe Kisa. Oh, too high. Certainly had all rights to shoot. Needed more accuracy, though.
Yeah, he never got over the ball. If you look at him, he was sort of... He went for placement, it seems to me, more than anything else. But he was always leaning back. And once you're going to be leaning back, there's only one way that ball is going to go. High and not so handsome.
Sam tried to be clever. His pass well read. Just wrestle back, trying to win possession. When he falls into the hands of Philip.
Got to do better with the pass in Deportivo.
Well, he has looked quite comfortable. Jamali Garcia in defense for Defense Force. Replacing, of course, his namesake Justin Garcia, who's out injured.
Seems everybody in football now in Trinidad and Tobago is called Garcia.
Oh, lots of Garcias. We've got one in Point Fortin, two in Point Fortin at the moment.
Levi Garcia scored today. Trinidad and Tobago winning 2-0 against St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Levi Garcia scoring 1.
Well, has to be careful here. And, well, tried to be adventurous. He got away with it, Ronald Paul. And,
It's tough.
well, that's an adventurous tackle, to say the least.
I think, again, I thought he was just clipped. He played the ball, but he just, on the follow-through, just clipped the ankle of, who's that? Is that
It's Cornwall.
He just clipped the ankle of Cornwall. Let's have a look at it. He just clipped the ankle of him, of Cornwall. That's never easy, but he got the ball. So I suppose he got the ball, but in the follow-through, once you're sliding those kind of tackles in, James, you're gonna touch the player. Is the assistant coach? Yeah, he's not impressed with that tackle, but he got the ball. Definitely got the ball. Is he Bertrand? The real fighter, isn't he?
Loving the battle. Just think that the wide attackers might be the key to the game for Defense Force, both Bertrand and Brent Sam. Well, the good news is Cornwall is back on his feet, just out of your shot. And all on the bench for Point Fortin are going to be happy about that. There he is. Looks brand new.
Haven't seen Pacheco much in the game because of course, not very much midfield play. Talking about Pacheco not being in the game.
Oh, what a way to make an entrance. The 37-year-old Andrew Pacheco, secondary school's football winner with Princeton Secondary in 2002. And that's too long for Bertrand. It's a goal kick.
It's just hit a little too straight. Remember, Bertrand is hugging the line. So once you play in those balls over the top, you gotta get it wider so he can run onto it. I was hitting far too straight. And on this field, once that ball hits, it's gonna skid off.
Well, the weather certainly has held up well. Certainly a stark contrast to what we witnessed on kickoff. And, well, for the sake of the fans, you'll be hoping that it continues like this for the rest of the evening. The weather report says otherwise.
And with the home team playing later, it should have a good crowd.
No foul as plays allowed to continue. Through Jamil Cooper. And maybe now. Paul Terrence Lewis says no.
Absolutely good keeping. He came off his line quickly. He read the danger and did so well. There is Terrence Lewis.
30-minute mark comes up and still goalless between second place Defense Force against Deportivo Point Fortin. Ascension tournament, match week 11. 3 points will be on the mind of both these teams as Deportivo look to close the gap on the leaders. Defense Force, on the other hand, hope to get the jump on the Timonix Rangers. And here's a chance opening up now, and Terrence Lewis has been called into action. And well, certainly check the box in terms of being reliable. What a save that was.
Yeah, Sadhu just couldn't get the ball. It was under his feet, basically. And he just couldn't push that ball forward to get the shot away. So he actually took that shot with the ball sort of just on his, look at it. Yeah, look at it. It's sort of under his feet, that ball. Couldn't get the power in the shot. He went for placement. Watch it, watch it. He went for the placement. And in the end, it was another good save from Lewis. He's made about 2 or 3 very good saves.
Has to be alert again here. This time Garcia gets involved. He takes a knock as well. Will be a foul against Defense Force. How many times have we seen Garcia being called into action?
He's having a great night though.
Painful one as well.
He's defended so very well. To me, he's well. Is that Gonzalez getting a card?
Keller.
Oh, Keller?
Might have been the one that has been carded.
Yeah, Keller. It looks like Keller. Yeah.
Replacing Kevon Goddard, who's on international duty, and well, it's already gone into the bad books of Crystal Sobers.
That's the second Defense Force player booked, so they've got to be careful.
So
because Felix was booked earlier, now Keller. And in these conditions, James, if you're just slightly late with a tackle, you know, you can find yourselves in the getting a card from the referee. It's clearing up nicely, but I'm a little ominous cloud there though, James, just over that tree.
Cumulus nimbus.
When you start to talk Greek to me, I'm not too sure.
Learned that in geography, and well, the geography at the moment there, it looks quite patchy.
Geography was never one of my favorites, I must admit. I like to travel the world, but in terms of learning the geography of the world, I'm not too keen on that.
Mr. Williams certainly was one of my favorite teachers. That's perhaps why I learned.
Miss Williams? Okay, I hear you.
Well, here's point forward now to Omri Baird. Well cut out. Kept alive. Hudson. Garcia goes forward. And maybe now for point forward. And, well, Gonzalez was alert. Gave away a corner though. Isaiah Garcia certainly showing no ill effects of a last challenge that we saw him.
He's a tough guy, is Garcia. But interestingly, a corner for Deportivo, they've got to make use of these set pieces when they get it.
Well, here's his older cousin, Nathaniel Garcia. Can he find some joy for point Fortin? Oh, bounced around, but fell kindly for the defending team. Philip gets it back in the area. Still no goals in this contest as 35 minutes rolls around. Maybe this man, Houghton Hector, can change that. Versus Jules Lee. A chance here, and Nathaniel Garcia's younger brother, Levi, scored earlier for Trinidad and Tobago, and he came within a whisker of doing the same for Point Fortin.
And James, that's the point I was making a little earlier. Get Hector into the game. Let him go wide, get the ball through to him, and he will create something. He sent it inside, and then the shot came. Unfortunately, was just off target. But they've got to get Hector, get him wide, get the balls going through to him so he can run onto it. Once he does that, he's going to create problems.
Well, Pacheco failed to find Hector on that occasion. It's Gonzalez.
He tends to like the middle though, Hector, but every time he makes the run, he tends to go wide. And once he goes wide, if they find him, he's going to create the problems, as I mentioned to you. Here's Sam though, talking about problems. But Garcia, that's a real great battle on that side between Garcia and Sam. You know, if I was the coach, I would just give Sam a breather, switch him. You know, let him come on the right side, let Bertrand go on the left side. Just give him a little breather away from Garcia, because Garcia is not giving him a chance to breathe.
Certainly can play through the middle as well, Brent Sam. And, well, he's appealing and falls on deaf ears as Hector gets it away for point Fortin. Well, they're piling bodies forward now. And illegally taken out there was Omri Baird.
Another yellow card. Not sure who got that one.
In fact, Hector was the man.
Yeah, it was Hector brought down. He's a danger man, and defense force knows it. But Crystal Sobers has given him another yellow card, so that's the third one going into the book. I'm not sure who it was got that yellow card. Could be Gonzalez, is it? Or maybe Jamali Garcia. We'll get that confirmation in a while.
Well, she's certainly not shy to dish out the disciplinary measures, Crystal Sobers. For point Fortin, though, they have a chance to knock on the door of defense force. Hector, and that's well dealt with by Bigot.
That's good keeping.
There's Botsween. Chance could open up here. Well intercepted in the end by Terrence Lewis.
Well, the bad news is that it's starting to drizzle again. What sort of cloud you called it, James?
Cumulus nimbus.
Right, it seems to have come right over the ground now.
Learned a thing or two. It's sitting next to quite a few weathercasters in my time in local television.
And I can, yeah. There it is, cumulus nimbus. James, all over.
Well, you almost got the pronunciation.
All over here at La Hoqueta.
But, well, you can simplify that, simply say a thunderhead. Or rain cloud.
A rain cloud, okay.
There you go.
I think that's easier for me, a rain cloud.
Certainly want to stay clear of one of those if you're in an aircraft.
Actually, Colin Croft was, I've done commentary with him, and of course, him being a pilot, he knew every single cloud, the name of every single cloud. I just knew it was gray and white.
Well, certainly no black and white affair between who is the better team at the moment. It's pretty even, still goalless. As Hector tries to change that, but not even he could get his magical right boot to obey him that time. It's one thing, they've got options. Shaquille Henry, among them, Mark Ramdeen as well. Well, he's been displaced by Kisa in the squad.
Yeah, I would think both of them would be involved sometime in this game, because they're both good attacking players, and they can very well, when they come on with fresh legs, put the defense force defenders under some pressure.
Jordan Riley, another name that is on the bench. Secondary school football fans who know him quite well. Former Naparima man.
Actually, presentation. Yeah,
that's right.
Presentation. Because I remember doing a lot of games with him, taking the penalties, taking the corners, always coming wide on the right side. He was a really tremendous player at secondary schools level.
Just about 5 minutes remaining in the first half. It's been pretty uneventful. The score is still goalless.
Well, I think at the end of it, James, the defenses have been on top. I think both defenses have been very tight. They're reading the play well, and both goalkeepers have been good too. Whatever they've had to do, they've done it well.
It's Kisa switching across to the left. Oh, that's a bad pass, and don't want to give it away to Sadu.
It's a good tackle, but
he's fouled him, and that might just have been the trailing leg. Did seem to get the ball first, and he's a bit bemused at the moment. Crystal Sobers looks quite certain. Well, wow. There we go. That's confidence for you.
Yeah. I was about to say she looks very stern, not the type of individual you would want to get on the wrong side.
Well, Defence Force will be happy though. They have a chance to perhaps make some inroads, use their height advantage. They've got the likes of Boatswain and Brent Sam in there. He's got to be alert.
Jamali Garcia is there as well, isn't he?
They've got 8 yellow shirts in the area. Can he find one of them? Does find one of them, and Terence Lewis safe in the end.
He was well positioned. It's that long ball looking for Hector. You've got to be wary of Hector. But double teaming him.
Well, that eruption that you just heard, that's a protest coming from the bench. As Karen Dorner and company feel like ball should be in the direction of the team in yellow.
And I think Crystal Sobers has corrected that.
Oh, she's changed her mind.
Yeah.
Haven't seen that much in this game.
Even though we've had no goals, it's been a pretty good game, I think. You know, you look at both teams, they're looking to attack, trying to take the game to the opponents, but both defenses, I think, have been really good.
Well, here's Cooper to test that. Oh, he's gone past Garcia, he's gone to ground, and, well, he's pointed to the spot.
Yes, it's in the area.
It's a penalty. Brent Sam has been clinical from the spot in this competition, and, well, they've just gifted him an opportunity to put Defence Force ahead.
Brilliant ball, excellent run. And the defender, he couldn't pull out of the tackle. He should have, but he couldn't pull out. I think he was, at the moment, he had already committed himself. And once the Defence Force player had gone, he couldn't do anything. He had already committed himself, and he had to bring him down.
Well, the number on his shorts is the number of goals he will go on if he converts this penalty, Brent Sam. He's been lethal from 11 yards in this competition. Can he do it again?
Very cool, very calm when he takes the penalties.
So here is Brent Sam to give his team a foot in the door in this contest.
Where's he going to go, James? To the keeper's right or the keeper's left? You're a goalkeeper, come on.
Your guess is as good as mine.
I'm thinking he's going to go to his right. I've seen him kick a couple penalties. No, he's good either side. I think he's going to go to the keeper's right. Brent Sam.
Tension building. Brent Sam settles himself. Terence Lewis guessing the wrong way, and Defence Force 2 minutes away from halftime have given themselves a 1-0 lead over Deportivo Point Fortin.
What a good penalty though. That was a brilliant penalty from Brent Sam. Absolutely good penalty. He went straight into the corner. The keeper went one way. I would have done the same as Terence Lewis, and it would have ended up in the back of the net. But a really good penalty. This is about what? The third penalty he's taken, James, that we've seen, and he's been very clinical. Excellent. Let's have a look at him.
Well, you can put a roadblock in his way. Nothing seems to stop him when he stands from that distance. And that is goal number 8 for Brent Sam, as he takes hold of the third highest scoring title in the competition. Or maybe more for the team in yellow. Well cut out.
I think the best thing for Deportivo is to get inside quickly. Don't concede another goal, because Defence Force now, they're rampant.
Well, Bertrand this time couldn't get around Cornwall. Is there to be a response from Deportivo Point Fortin?
I just think they've got to hold out. They don't want to go 2-0 down. You know, they go 1-0 down, they're in the game, make some tactical changes at halftime, maybe a switch or two of a player, and they're back in the game. But if they concede another goal before halftime, it could be created problems. I think Crystal Sobers,
is had enough.
Yeah.
As halftime has come just in the nick of time for the Defence Force, and it's that man, Brent Sam, who will wear the biggest smile on his face as he has put Defence Force 1-0 in front against Deportivo Point Fortin. We take a pause and we come back with our first half highlights.
The situation we have here is that these characters, and I refer to them as pests, right? What they are doing is destroying our country, but not on my watch. No street, no turf, no block shall belong to these cockroaches, right? It's no longer business as usual. Happy hour is over. If they don't fear God, at least they will fear Terminix.
Have you considered how your methods could impact on pests across the country?
I find we look after the rights of pests as opposed to the rights of the 1.3 million law-abiding citizens in Trinidad and Tobago. I wonder if Roach Ladden's son come here for carnival if you'll interview him, eh?
But how can you defend one shot, one kill?
What, you want me to throw a pillow at him?
I didn't say that.
No, well, if a roach jumps in front of you now, what will you do?
Run.
Oh, Jesus, Lord Father.
Pests bothering you? Call Terminix at 672-5007 or 672-0042 or visit our website at terminix.co.tt for a free quote and consultation. Join our fight against pests.
So first half starts. Comment.
Well, not even Picasso could paint a beautiful picture than the one we're seeing here at the La Joquita Recreation Ground. And for Defense Force, it's even more beautiful as they lead Deportivo Point Fortin by 1-0. All right, let's rewind the clock, look back at the last 45 minutes, and one that Defense Force huffed and they puffed, and early chances flashing wide. Jelani Felix, well, he took his man out to dry.
Yeah, but he should have hit the target there, James, and I think we spoke about that.
And then this chance forced a big save from Terrence Lewis. On the opposite end, Nathaniel Garcia. Well, he felt the wrath of Gonzalez. And Isaiah Phillip, well, the favor was repaid. And well, went into the naughty corner for that one. Crystal Silvers unafraid to dish out the discipline. And then Bertrand, maybe one of the better chances, well cut out by Garcia.
Excellent defending.
And Point Fortin huffed and they puffed. Kisa couldn't find the target. And then Sadu brought the best out of Terrence Lewis.
So that was another good save. As I said, didn't get the power as he would have liked. But
well, Garcia certainly took some tumbles, and the Cards did not fumble as they came out of the pack. And even Houghton Hector had an X on his back. Well, they tussled and they tussled. And then this happened. Cooper went down. And well, you don't expect Brent Sam to miss some 11 yards as he put the Defense Force 1-0 in front.
He really takes some really excellent penalties. He seems so cool, calm under the pressure. And look at that. Right into the corner. Even if he had gone the right way, I don't even know if he would have got there, James.
So 1-0 at halftime. Defense Force going into the break, courtesy a goal from that man, Brent Sam. 1-0 at halftime. Well, you saw the pictures. It's time to take a look at the numbers now as we check out the first half statistics. And, well, it's pretty even, Colin Murray.
Yeah, very much even. 6 shots to 7 shots on target, 3 defense force, 1 to Deportivo. And you look at that, 3 yellow cards, however, to defense force. So they've got to be careful in the second half. They don't want to go down to 10 men. They've got to manage the game properly in the They've got to manage the game properly in the second half. But so far, defense force, they're holding their own.
Well, we're in the now. Let's take a look back at the past, the last Friday in particular. Matchweek 10 certainly played out some exciting football here at the La Hoquita Recreation Ground. Let's take a look back at some of those. And Cunupia FC faced off against Deportivo. A match that promised so much, 4th versus 5th. And Andre Etienne missing today, but he created the first chance for Houghton Hector. And he put it away to give Deportivo a 1-0 lead. And then later it was the turn of Isaiah Hudson. And well, he doesn't miss from that close. 2-0 for Deportivo. And perhaps the goal of the match and one of the goal of the tournaments coming from Omri Baird. What a shot that was in the 28th minute. More goals came in the second half. Houghton Hector, not just provider, but getting his 2nd goal of the evening. Cunupia, they did huff, but they couldn't blow them down, and Point Fortin continued to charge forward. Had to be stopped illegally. Andre Pacheco, well, he showed that he's not just a provider, he's a finisher as well. He scored goal number 5 for Deportivo. And Ezekiel Kesa, he got a look in the starting lineup and showed exactly why he's there to score goals. Nothing that man could do. Well, they did pull back one back, Kwesi Allen for Cunupia FC, but it was too little too late as they went down by 6 goals to 1.
It's not easy scoring 6 goals against David, isn't it?
Terminex Rangers, they faced up against Central FC. And this was always going to be David versus Goliath, especially when your left back Ross Jr. gets forward. But it's Kwame Hague, the defender, who got the final touch. Not even Panadol could take away that headache. 1-0. But look at that. Cristiano Ronaldo style from Leandro da Costa. And look at the celebration. Yep, that's the Portuguese in print. 1-1. And it certainly was a match that showed more than it really was in the end. 50th minute is when they really sped away Kadeem Corbin getting the go-ahead. And look at this one. Time to pull his pants up. And well, pin the donkey's tail. Kadeem Corbin, he made it 3-1. That really sucked the win out of Central FC. And then the Trini Ronaldinho, Atula Guerra, was 1. He made it 4. Certainly makes everything look easy, doesn't he?
Yeah, he took it comfortably.
And then Ikem Andrews, well, the wall not doing its job, and he did his. He made it 5-1. And look at Guerra. Took his man out at dance party, and then he made the goalkeeper disappear with his magic. And that was 6-1.
Another 6-1. Lots of goals, James. Lots and lots of goals.
Well, we spoke about the one. Here it is, Romario Burke. Well, it's really a consolation in the end for Central FC. In fact, 6-2.
6-2, yes, sorry. Yeah.
And
Yes, it was 1-1 at one stage, wasn't it?
that's how the cookie crumbled. Everybody pulled their pants up. 6-2, the final score. Well, it's time to take a break, and when we come back, second half action. Defense Force still lead 1-0 against Deportivo Point Fortin.
Amante Del Cafe is located at Magnificent Mall, number 271 Southern Main Road, McBean, Couva. Amante Del Cafe. Happiness begins with brew.
Lasso Friend Maritime Limited, the best in marina services. At our facilities, security checks ensures that all vehicles are secured. Our newly renovated bathrooms are always kept in a clean working order. Need repairs and maintenance? We have you covered. Our qualified workmen will get the job done. Boat storages.
We'll be them in it. I think this is the first play there.
We should. We should be there.
Well, 45 minutes will tell a different picture, or maybe the same. Defense Force at the moment, they're writing their own destiny as they lead this match by 1-0 against Deportivo Point Fortin. And it certainly was a first half that ebbed and flowed, but in the end, an error cost Deportivo the goal. What are the keys going into the second half of this match, Colin?
Well, the Defense Force, they will have to manage this game properly now. I think they're defending well. They're using Sam and Bertrand. We already said that on both the flanks. Boatswain is going through the middle. So, you know, it should be very, very interesting. Of course, the field is really... I don't think it has deteriorated all that much. But it's pretty heavy. And we have said that before the game started. Because of the amount of rain we've had, the conditions of this field is going to be extremely heavy. The short passing has got to be out. And most of that's in front of the goal, for example, which, I mean, it's just the goalkeeper that will really affect. But, you know, you look at this outfield and both teams have got to play. What I like about Defense Force, more than Deportivo, they're using the width of the field. You know, once you get into that center of the field, there's a lot of water there and the ball is going to stick. Use the width of the field, which Defense Force are doing well. And I certainly think they will do that again in the second half. They've got to manage it properly. So get down the sides and then get the ball over to Boatswain. Deportivo, they've been using this guy wide, Hudson. He's got to stay there, and they've got to use Kesa on that. Take a leaf out of the page of Defense Force. Go wide, attack them wide, and get that ball across. But I think Defense Force, the way it's going, you know, Defense Force, they're going to manage this game properly in the second half, and I think they're going to go on to win the game.
Well, they're seeking some divine help, Deportivo Point Fortin. They need lots of it to overturn the current result. What do you think the keys? You spoke about using the width of the field, but Houghton Hector, they've struggled to get him involved, and we've seen in the past that when he's not involved, they're not quite as efficient.
But you see, the thing with Houghton Hector, he likes to play through the middle. Once you play in through the middle here, it's going to present problems. So what he's doing, when Deportivo pick up the ball, he tends to make the runs to maybe an inside left, an inside right, trying to free himself to get space. You know, once he keeps, and their Defense Force, they've done the homework. Houghton Hector is the main man on this team. Every time they look to play the ball to him, they're picking him up. They're not giving him the room. They're on top of him, and that's very important here. They've made a couple substitutions, have they, Deportivo? Am I seeing Mark Ramdeen? No, it's not Mark Ramdeen. But we haven't seen any substitutions yet. But I expect they're going to make a few substitutions if they don't get the equalizer within 20 minutes.
Well, it's 45 minutes to decide the fate of these teams. At the moment, Defense Force continuing in their unbeaten run. 6 wins on the trot for the 20-time national champions Defense Force. And, seem well set to add a win number 7 to that. Well, here's Omri Baird. Well intercepted there. And I Pass played forward to Boatswain, and Garcia's challenge is late, but he was offside anyway.
Yeah. Isn't Garcia, he seems to be everywhere in the defense, doesn't he? He's having a really good game.
Certainly one of the better defenders in the tournament. Well, we spoke about defense, Point Fortin. They've certainly got one of the best defense in the tournament. They've conceded, well, 10 goals with that goal scored today. That is the second least defense force. 5 conceded. You look to change this maybe, Garcia.
He had the opportunity to go wide.
Oh, that's good. That's good from Philip. Boatswain will want some revenge here, and maybe he can crown it off with a good shot in the end. Well, that's the way you crown it off. You'd would have loved to get a goal after that nutmeg.
He's done well again, doesn't he?
It's Cooper. And, well, got in a collision there with Nathaniel Garcia.
The thing is, Garcia, the previous play, James, he had Kesa running wide, play it wide, let him get that ball over.
That was aimed in at Boatswain. But, well, he stayed down though. Jamil Boatswain is holding onto his left wrist. Might have been stomped upon in the challenge. Didn't see too much wrong with the challenge. Might have been when he went down. Peg might have gone over that hand.
Well, I would expect the magic spray is going to come out.
Well, he's back on his feet, and well, that's the part of his anatomy that they would hope will remain intact. No concerns there from the men in black and yellow.
Let's have a look at it.
Yeah, just swung into Paul there. Might have been an injury that he came into the match with. Didn't really see much in that challenge either. But he's back on his feet. And
he's a big guy, isn't he?
the Angels in the pavilion, they're celebrating. Well, they celebrate everything, don't they? Philip. Garcia. Hustled out of possession. Brent Sam. Tries to get Sadu involved.
It's a good ball.
But he has to hurry. It's a good tackle from Hudson. Hector gets away with it.
Interesting that Hector seemed to have gone more into a deep midfield role. So it tells me at this point in time, they're looking maybe Hector to create the chances for the men running up front. It's very interesting.
Well, they did struggle to deliver quality service into the attackers in the first half. Might be one of the reasons that he's been asked to add some numbers in the middle to help him build up play.
Yeah, you look at Hector, he's in a deep-lying midfield role. It's really strange. I thought that's the one guy you would want to get up top, or at least as an attacking midfielder.
Well, here's Kisa. Pacheco can shoot from distance, and well, tried to prove it. Well cut out in the end though by Jamil Cooper. Come again, point 14. Garcia to Garcia. Hector. Ronald Paul's pass is not of the highest quality as defense force try to come away on the opposite end. Yes, Kisa. The 2015 Youth Pro League MVP.
That's too hard from Pacheco.
Garcia would chase, but Big At will get there first. It's a goal kick.
Much of the same. The only change I've seen with Deportivo is that Hector has dropped back into this almost it's very strange to me because he's almost playing in front of the defenders for Deportivo, unless they're looking at him, as we rightly said, to create the chances for the team rather than him getting the opportunity to put the ball in the back of the net from a front-lying role.
Well, that's good from Cornwall. Tried to take him on in a foot race, Bertrand. It was a battle. He was never favored to win. It's Garcia. Trying to open up some chances in the middle, and to see the ball slowing down in the middle.
And look where Hector is collecting that ball, James. He's almost on top of his defense. It's a very strange tactical move from Deportivo.
Well, he tried to pick out Kisa, but the direction of the pass was lacking. It trickles all the way back to Ronell Paul. Just see the slow ball movement, and I think that the heavy ground conditions playing a big part in that.
It's a good turn, excellent turn.
Well, he tried to do a bit more than he was tasked with, Cornwall. Possession is with the defense force. Here's Sadu. He's within range and too heavy. Easy for Lewis.
He was thinking of the shot at one time, and then all of a sudden he changed his mind and was just trying to play it down the line.
Well, he's being cornered at the moment. And finally they get it away. So that's a good turn from Nathaniel Garcia. And now some space for Hector. But again, they can't seem to connect the dots. Point Fortin do enjoy playing quick short passes. The conditions have not been one that has been favorable for their type of game. Struggled.
It's a foul.
Well, it's a rugby type challenge, and Jules Lee and Crystal Sobers let him know exactly what she thought about it. Cooper has opened up some space for himself here. Justin Sadu. Felix. Good looking service here, and Lewis, well, safe as ever.
Another very good save. That was really pressure on him. He had to come and get that ball just ahead of Boatswain. It's another very good save. He's made about 3 or 4 really top class saves here this evening. Look at this cross. It was just hanging in the air, and he got there just before Boatswain. I thought that was good goalkeeping.
Well, he's deputized really well. Terence Lewis filling in, of course, for Marvin Phillip, who is away on international duty.
It's good when you've got 2 top-class goalkeepers.
Certainly was highly rated at the secondary school level, Lewis. Here's Ronell Paul. Rock solid defense force, compact, and Point Fortin trying to pick away at that. And, well, claiming a handball, and Crystal Sobers agrees. Will be a Point Fortin free kick. Certainly within range for Andre Pacheco. We've seen him hit them from that distance.
It's a long way out, but Pacheco, as you rightly said, he's got a good left foot, and if he hits it well enough, could present problems for Bigot.
But he's got his eyes locked in on the target. Nathaniel Garcia, too, will fancy his chances from this range.
It's got to be the left foot of Pacheco, though. No.
Here's Garcia. Oh! What?
Well,
a spectacular goal from Nathaniel Garcia. It was long distance, but he used all of his credit and he connected well with the back of the net. And that is 1-0 or 1-1 to Deportivo Point Fortin against the defense force.
Did I say Pacheco? Whoa, what a shot from Garcia. I never expected that. I thought he was going to leave it for Pacheco, and I would have thought maybe one or two of the defense force players would have thought that. But this guy hit that like, oh, that's a rocket. Watch it. The keeper had absolutely no chance. He saw it, he went for it, and still he couldn't keep it out. What a good shot from Garcia. What a brilliant free kick.
Wow, Roberto Carlos, eat your heart out. Maybe more on the opposite end now. And well, this time gravity, not really in the favor of Isaiah Hudson. But I tell you what, if you suffer from anaphylactic shock, be wary, the Hornets are about. He's raised them with that shot.
Nathaniel Garcia, there he is. What a shot. I didn't expect it. I thought they would have gone for Pacheco with the left foot and curl it over the wall. But he hit that, oh my word. That was still traveling after it passed the keeper, wasn't it?
Wow, just like that, it's an even contest. Everybody equal rights and justice for all. And well, that shot ensures that it remains that way. He scored 10 in the competition, never looked like adding 11 with that kind of effort.
You just can't keep a Garcia out of the game, can you? It's really amazing. But he's been having a good game for Deportivo. He's been playing very well. When you think of this Deportivo team with dead ball specialists like Pacheco, Hector, Newton Hector, and for Garcia to come up and hit a free kick like that, you've got to give him kudos. Excellent. And the confidence in which he took it as well. He probably said to Pacheco, leave it. I'm gonna smack it. And he did.
Here's Kisa. Renewed energy maybe. Well, no whistle came and Keller would try to get it away, but Hector gets Kisa going on the opposite end. It's going to take Sadu for a run. Pacheco. And well, couldn't find Hudson. As Sadu comes away with it. Here's Jelani Felix. Looking for Boatswain. Well, not the most convincing of clearances, and Boatswain keeps it alive. And wow, after some Kung Fu soccer, it's a throw to the big number 9 for defense force. We're thinking of making some changes at the moment.
Seems that Hackshaw is going on. Kishon Hackshaw, striker. And,
so Bertrand will end his tour of duty. And Kishon Hackshaw is set to come in. Well, might change your minds because Brent Sam at the moment has gone down. So Bertrand has been asked to remain as he were.
Yeah, Sam is down. Not too sure. He's holding his thigh. So look at that. Oh, it took a little deflection. Yeah, took a deflection from Bertrand. That tells a story.
Well, Alistair Curry.
But did he
If you see it again, though, you'd see he turned away before he hit the net. Has he been watching the NBA Finals? I don't know.
Well, the good news is Sam is up. Whether he can continue, we'll have to wait and see.
Well, it seems that he might be changed now. They've changed their minds, and Brent Sam, instead of Bertrand, might be the one who will be replaced. That's going to be a big blow for the defense force. He is the goal scorer in the match so far. And initially, when the board came up, Hackshaw was set to come in. But Brent Sam, having gone down, will be replaced. And, well, Cooper might need the ball to be replaced after he lost that one. Certainly disappointing. You'll get treatment from Karen Donna, the physio. Certainly one of the keys to the match, and I think now it's a totally different ball game. Colin Murray, they're back level. They've lost Sam, who's certainly they've planned and prepared for, as we've seen in this first half.
And their confidence has gone up with that goal, so they're taking the game now to defense force.
Baird ran himself into some traffic, and Big Hard, well, he came to clean up the mess. So we've gone past the hour mark, and oh, what a match we've seen. Tied at 1 apiece.
And it can go any way.
Well, here's the goal scorer, Nathaniel Garcia.
Thing with defense force, they persevere, don't they? They just keep at you, and the pressure is relentless.
Oh, this is opening up for Baird, and Big Art had to get low. And well, he did pretty well to keep that out.
Did very well. Did extremely well.
Wow, just like that. It's not Christmas, but they're giving away presents at the back. Didn't accept though. Wow. Angels. Without, must be in heaven.
You see some substitutions.
Well, Shaquille Henry, no surprise, he will come in and tell you who he has replaced in a bit. Isaiah Hudson will make his way off, and Mark Ramdeen, the midfielder, comes in for point 14, and he will replace Isaiah Hudson, defender. So they've made an interesting offensive subs. In fact, Isaiah Hudson has come in has gone off. Ramdeen has come in.
Was it Baird? It's the other one coming off. Was
and
it
Omri
Baird?
Baird has been replaced by
Henry?
Shaquille Henry. And immediately he's in on the act, defending. So changes about and shuffle the pack. And he's gone for more offensive options, as you can see.
Henry for Baird and Ramdeen for Hudson.
Well, he's a gambling man. Will it pay dividends? Salafon Francis shaking things up.
It's a good move, excellent move. I think he sent Ramdeen wide on the left, which is his favorite position. That's a good tackle, excellent tackle on Bertrand.
Well, he's not a hurdler, but he was forced to do it anyway, as Cornwall slid in with a heavy challenge. Well, are there any FIDE masters about? It's a chess match out there, I can tell you that. All squared. I think Nostradamus will struggle to predict the outcome of this one as well.
So that's a fact. I remember when they played earlier, they drew 1-1, so this could very well be another 1-1. But I just feel there's another goal or two somewhere, James. I wish I can tell you where and for whom.
Well, Shaquille Henry, he's a proven goal scorer, and maybe here for him, and he does. Shaquille Smack Henry has been called to do a job, and he's done it with pride and distinction as he's put his team, Deportivo Point 14, 2-1 ahead against the defense force.
Was that his first touch as well? I think it's his first touch. But what a touch. He was sent right through the middle, and he looked up. What I like about this goal from Henry, he was composed, never panicked. He was through the defense force. The defenders were caught square, and look at it. And then he pushed it away from the keeper. That's a well-taken goal from Shaquille Henry. That's the type of goal you get from a goal scorer. He is a goal scorer, out-and-out goal scorer. So in the 64th minute, Shaquille Henry, he's made it 2-1 for Deportivo. Defense force, they've got it all to do, and they don't have Brent Sam on the field.
Well, how will this game swing? Shaquille Henry, he's done his job. And the team from the Southwestern Peninsula, they're smiling. At the moment, that's a complaint from Shaquille Henry.
Well, he's got away. Crystal Sobers had a long chat with him, probably saying to him, well, I'm going to ease you up just because you scored that goal. But you don't do that again or you're going to get a yellow card. So it was a stern talking to him.
Well, Crystal Sobers has done a tremendous job in this match. She's kept it quite controlled. Certainly one of the best referees in CONCACAF at the moment, male or female. Crystal Sobers.
That's a good keeping. This guy is kept really well, Terence Lewis. Remember, he was just beaten with a penalty. Outside of that, he's taken the crosses well. He's come off his line quickly. He saved one cracking shot from distance. He's been really excellent for Deportivo.
Well, here's another substitute hack shot. And well, showed he had quick feet to get out of the way of that Philip challenge. Well, it's a big man and a big miss. He's come off injured, Brent Sam, but he did get the defense force ahead in the match. A lead that has evaporated so far.
That's a difficult one.
Well, Bigard showed that he had some foot skills. Henry will try again though. Easy in the end. That's Curtis Gonzalez. Maybe he can inspire his team as Sadu turns away from one challenge.
It's Bertrand, isn't it?
Looking here for Boatswain. And well, Isaiah Garcia somehow got his head to that.
Isaiah Garcia, he's had a tremendous game. Really super game.
Well, he's barely over 5 feet, Isaiah Garcia, but he certainly out-jumped 6 feet plus Jamil Boatswain. Looking for Henry. Booted away. Here's Kisa.
Hard luck. That's a good run by Garcia. Ball unfortunately hit the back of his heel.
Well, Cooper certainly had thoughts of a brutal challenge, but he's done well. Got in front of his man. Cooper, maybe one of the best goals in the defense force.
Absolutely brilliant.
It is one of those moments for Jamil Cooper, and one that he will remember. He's put his team right back in the contest. He weaved, he wiggled, he waggled, and in the end, he produced magic at the end of it, and Defense Force are back in the contest, 2-2 against Deportivo.
And we talked about composure, didn't we? Well, you couldn't want more composure than that. He took on the Deportivo defense. He went down that left side, eluded one defender, and then cut inside. And you would have thought, once he cut inside, James, he would have, you would have thought he would have taken the shot there. No, he went further inside, saw the gap, and just really, he passed the ball into the goal. What a wonderful goal from this man. What a beauty of a goal. Look at it. Saw the gap and really just passed it into the net. Absolutely brilliant.
Reminds me of that goal scored by Pedri in La Liga. It was named the goal of the tournament, and quite similar. And it's a combination of that. I don't know if you remember that goal, Mark Bantra, where Garrett Beale ran around him and scored. Quite similar.
Wow.
And well, he's put his name up there.
I mean, you thought when he cut inside, he might have taken the shot. No, he waited because defenders were falling all over around him. Oh, what a brilliant goal. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, there have been some changes. Boatswain has come off. Dwight Quintero, who gets his first touch, has come in. And Keller has also come off as well. Well, I told you, Nostradamus will struggle in this one. And maybe here could be another chance. Opening up, and well, maybe too much power. Didn't get the accuracy on point. And well, tell you what, this has been a blockbuster of a contest, and it has not disappointed in terms of excitement. Nikolai Nairon certainly had a good seat in the house, the fourth official. What a game he's witnessed.
It's been a really good, entertaining encounter between these two teams. And both, you think, they're evenly matched.
Well, with 20 minutes to go, could there be more? Tell you one thing though, Colin Murray. We're going to have a difficult moment choosing the Sportsmax app moment. So many moments in this game.
Oh, I'm going to disagree with you there, James. Cooper, I mean, that was absolutely brilliant. You couldn't want anything better than that.
Well, that man in your picture might say something different. What a match.
Yeah. We've seen some good goals. Henry's goal was well taken as well.
Well, here's Pacheco. He wants to get in on the act. Well, here's Kisa. Waiting for his moment to find Ramdeen. Too long. That's a good touch, Dwight Quintero.
Action.
Losing his footing, and this time Garcia doing his job.
Quintero is a big man, isn't he, in the striking position.
Yeah, not out of it yet, defense force. Well, he's peeling for a handball. Not given, and Kisa comes away with it.
Oh, brilliant.
Well, they got some space now for Nathaniel Garcia to get into. He has Henry with him. Oh, he tries his luck, and somehow that was kept out by the right paw of Christopher Bigat. Didn't expect him to shoot, though. I don't think Bigat did as well.
I agree. I don't think Bigat was looking for that, because Henry was making that run through the middle, and I myself thought that Garcia would have played it into the center. But he took, look at him, he took that shot from an angle, and Bigat was getting into position, and all of a sudden the ball was coming at him. He did well in the end.
Well, he was surprised, but he dealt with it well. Oh, that's a bad giveaway. And Philip does well to get there. Here's Cooper. He's gone on one run before he's gone on another. Nightmares maybe for Garcia as he waves that right foot. Hands off to Hackshaw for support. Sadu looking for the run of Hackshaw. He's got Pacheco to face up. Sadu.
Take the shot, take the shot. Held on too long. There goes Henry though.
Well, he thought of a moment of sending Henry on his way. Mark Ramdeen though chose an option as Henry now gets involved. Oh, that's disappointing. Just broke the momentum of the play going forward. Here's Henry. What a moment he's had in the match. Can he create another one? He'll have to wait as his team is forced to defend.
The idea was good, the execution was not. Look at it, this is the first tackle he goes wrong. That's excellent. And what a run. Gave the impression he was going to shoot, and just so cool, so calm, so composed. And all he did was side-foot the ball, and it didn't go for a shot through the laces. He just side-footed it into the empty net. Brilliant, brilliant from Cooper.
Certainly love the subtleties about it though. 2 body feints, and then, well, he just pulled the trigger. They've seen some top quality goals.
The other thing is, James, with that, he got wrong Philip. When he got wrong Philip, just at on the touch line, got wrong Philip and then cut inside, was a super run. A super run, excellent finish.
Well, there's a top player in her time, Daniel Maskell. She will have a tough task ahead of her as her team Moruga FC comes up against Terminex Rangers in the later kickoff. That match, of course, taking place 8 p.m. local time, 7 p.m. Jamaican time.
How would you play that game, James? They've conceded 39 goals, I think, so far, and you're coming up against a top team. How would you play that game from a defensive standpoint?
I would look at the playbook of Jose Mourinho. Paul PTSE, park the bus.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. You can't go toe for toe here with Rangers. So you've got to park the bus. I would go with 5 defenders, 4 in the midfield, clog it up, and you look to play on the counter.
Something like Angus Eve there. I mean, 6 defenders today for Trinidad and Tobago.
Well,
against
they won 2-0.
and the Grenadines.
They won 2-0. You can't complain, James. They won 2-0. Oh, you said if they didn't play 6 defenders, they would have won 4-0? Come on, James. Be good, be good.
Well, is there to be more goals? Not in this moment. 15 minutes remaining. And I'm sure the fans are going to be asking for an extension of that. They've seen 4 goals in the 76 minutes of play. They want more.
And of the 4 goals, 3 very good goals. And even the penalty was a good penalty. You can't say that it was a fluky penalty. It went through the keeper's leg. It was well placed by Sam, away from the keeper. That's how you should kick a penalty.
Ramdeen from Cornwall in some space. Can't get past the yellow obstacles in his way.
It's a foul on Sadhu. He's had a good game as well. He covered every blade of grass here on the field. It's been difficult in the conditions playing in that midfield.
Well, he has been pretty decent in this tournament, Justin Sadhu. Did get the attention of national coach Angus Eve as part of a training squad. Did play a warm-up game against St. Lucia. Here's Cooper. Hackshaw. And sliding challenge from Philip. Puts an end to his aspirations of scoring. Or maybe not for Nathaniel Garcia or Houghton Hector. And looked across sheepishly at referee Sobers, who was not interested in his pleas.
Yeah, but I thought the ball from Garcia was not good enough. It was too short. He wanted to run onto that ball, Houghton Hector, and unfortunately he played it just a little too short. And Hector actually had to stop, in his stride. Had he pushed it ahead of him, he would have been able to go and stride on and go and get it. Here is Rangers going through their paces before their game.
Tula Guerra scored 2 goals in their last match and
came on as a substitute, didn't he?
He did. Was the man of the match as well. Not would be expected of him. No, Kevon Modest, the physiotherapist, former player himself, will deliver some treatment to Philip, who is signaled to the bench that may need to be replaced. Worrying signs though. Well, here's Guerra. Man nicknamed the Trini Ronaldinho. Certainly showed some magic last evening.
Well, it's man of the match at the moment. I would think it's Cooper. Not only for the goal, because he was the one with the penalty. He created the first goal in terms of the penalty. He made the run that created that penalty for Brent Sam.
Well, as it stands, I can't disagree there. Still locked at 2 apiece, but certainly has been one of the players to change that. Well, here's Hashim Asia, Rivaldo Coriat, receiving some instructions from assistant coach Elcock. Offensive changes. They want to win, defense force. Well, here's Cooper. Oh, couldn't get past Philip this time.
Trying to do too much with it. He should have laid it off. Hackshaw was to his left. He should have laid it off. Sometimes when you have that confidence, he's been playing so well, and he's been just gliding past players that you just feel, hey, he's going to do it again.
Well, Houghton Hector can change things, but the whistle ends his hope. Hasn't been the most effective game for Houghton Hector, but it has been for this man coming off, Justin Sadhu. He replaced by Hashim Asia, while Rivaldo Coriat will come in. And he has replaced, I'll tell you in a moment.
Has he replaced Bertrand? No, not sure. Coriat. Yeah, he's replaced Bertrand. Coriat. Interesting.
Winger, Rivaldo Correa.
Interesting. He's picked up that the right side. No, he's very much left-footed. So it's going to tell me that once he picks up that ball, he's going to try and cut inside.
Yeah, that's modern attackers these days. Don't usually play for crosses. They try to come inside and get shooting opportunities. Think of Mo Salah, Sadio Mane. Some of the modern players in the game.
Yeah, those are two names you call there, James. That what can I say? Brilliant players, absolutely brilliant. And you're right. One plays on the left and he's right-footed. The other plays on the right and he's left-footed. Well, more changes.
She'll have some more from the Point Fortin perspective. And, well, there's Jordan Riley. He's going to make a cameo, and he will come in. And together with Marticon Watson. Well, no shortage of quality, though. Martin Watson, a former national youth player. He comes in place of Philip. Made his debut today in a starting role. And Jordan Riley, secondary school star, comes in on the right-hand side of attack. Well, here's Hackshaw, one of the substitutes for Defence Force. Hashim Marcia, another substitute. Oh, he's dancing, isn't he? Just gliding across the surface. Just couldn't wrap his right boot around it. Looked good in the moment, but the execution failed to deliver. In fact, King was the man getting that shot away. Dylan King.
This Korea. Interesting ball.
Watson, his first touch. And, well, tried to play in Houghton Hector, well cut out. Garcia will try again to Jordan Riley, who gets his first touch. Oh, this is a good run. He's away here, Jordan Riley! Well, had the power, not the accuracy.
It was a difficult angle. He did very well, actually. He miscontrolled the ball, and that teased the Defence Force defender. I think it was Felix, to go at him, and he regained composure, pushed it past Felix, and unfortunately the shot was just wide. Look at it. Tried to bend it back, came off the outside of his boot.
Felix gets Coriat involved. And, well, he went in search of Hackshaw. And can't say that's an unsuccessful.
There's Coriat for Bernard, for Bertrand, then Asia for Sadu. Defence Force changes. And for Deportivo, Watson for Philip. Then Riley, of course, for Kisa.
Asia. Coriat. Fresh legs. Injected some energy for the Defence Force.
That's what you need now. You need some fresh legs, because 84 minutes on this ground, you've got some tired legs out there.
Looking for Cooper. Well headed away. It's Houghton Hector. Maybe there's something remaining in the legs of the 38-year-old. Maybe
That's
here.
a brilliant ball.
And just couldn't control it well.
His first touch let him down, didn't it?
Did score the go-ahead goal for Point Fortin, and this time Henry couldn't deliver when needed most.
It's a good ball to Korea. Excellent ball.
Well, that's a good reverse pass. A chance in here now. And, well, Quintero, his touch as well. It's taking him away from goal. There's a man with a good first touch, Houghton Hector. And he gets a heavy touch from the defender.
You look at Hector now, James. He's he's now starting to get more in an advanced position. So I'm not too sure what has happened in terms of he's forgot his defensive duties and he's more pushing up forward now. Tells me that Deportivo may be very well looking for the winner.
Yeah, certainly fatigue playing a big role in that. Finding more space now with the game a bit stretched. Well, it's a good time as he gets back to his feet for Sportsmax app moment. And, well, no need to guess. We're absolutely certain what it is.
Bang! Basically.
Yeah, that's how it would go. And no chance there for goalkeeper Big At. And that is our Sportsmax app moment, courtesy Nathaniel Garcia.
Oh!
Well, tell you what, it's not Simone Biles, buddy. That's a 360 rotation there from Jordan Riley. Not as graceful though as the gymnast.
You see, you know what I really appreciate Crystal Sobers in terms of talking to the players. She goes up and she has a chat with them and says, you know, whatever she says, it's working because she's not, you know, some referees would just brandish that yellow card. She's actually saying to them, listen, I didn't appreciate this tackle. There goes Riley. Whoa, you're right. Not as graceful.
Yeah, that's going to hurt, but 360 with Pike. And that's why she's one of the best in the region, Crystal Sobers. Could lightning strike twice though?
Oh!
Almost
what a
did.
shot.
And well, second bite at the cherry, and Big Art this time is solid as ever.
I tell you what, James, that was a brilliant save. That ball tipped, it swerved and dipped on Big Art, and he did exceedingly well. Well, Garcia, you was thinking lightning could strike twice, it nearly did.
Crossed the wires, and Hackshaw takes advantage. And well, he couldn't get past Garcia this time. Isaiah Garcia. Their cousins, by the way, Isaiah Garcia and Nathaniel Garcia. Garcia family, well, quite prominent. The older brother of TNT International Levi Garcia and Judah Garcia. Of course, if you're following the international football match today, his younger brother Levi scored in TNT's 2-0 victory over St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
And just to let everyone know as well, Nicaragua, they beat the Bahamas, so Nicaragua is on top just by 1 point. Wait, what's happening here?
Harsh words, and well, some peacemakers in the midst as Garcia decides to turn and walk away. It's a lesson to the kids though.
But there's Crystal Sobers, very much in control of the situation. She's backing away.
And yeah, certainly looks in control. Sobers allows the emotion to play out and swoops in and has a chat with the clearly irate players. And tell you what, she's the coolest person in the field at the moment. That's why she's one of the best. Second best in CONCACAF in 2019. She's barely beaten by Lucela Venegas of Mexico. Is there one final roll of the dice for Point Fortin?
Or for Defense Force, for that matter. Because this could go either way.
Garcia, Ramdeen, well, he's broken the lines well, and he's played in Henry, and well, his touch let him down, and well, his tackle certainly let him down as well. Almost took the player down with him.
Well, we're in the final minute, so can Defense Force do it, or can Deportivo?
Well, here's Nathaniel Garcia.
Coming up to 90 minutes.
Yep, the clock has pretty much expired as 3 minutes is the allotted addition. It's a still feel with those 3 minutes, anything can happen. It's going to feel like a long period, the way this match has swung. Will there be a winner, or will another contest between these two end up as a draw?
Oh, that's dangerous.
And well, Bigard did his job.
That's going to be a yellow card, no
Yeah,
doubt.
might feel the pains of that as Sobers comes up with the gift card for that man, Shaquille Henry. Yep. It's a nice card.
I think
for a naughty boy.
she's warned him enough. She's had a word with him before, so I'm not surprised she's giving him the yellow card here now. In the meantime, a player is down. Not too sure who is down at the moment, James. It looks like Garcia. Nathaniel Garcia is there. Okay, he's getting back up. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at that. Oh, dangerous. Dangerous.
Well, he was pretty late there in that challenge, and well, yes, King. Can he make something happen on the opposite end? They've got just over a minute. He's only been on the field just over 15 minutes, but he has been pretty much well involved, getting a goal and getting a yellow card. Pretty complete performance from Shaquille Henry. Well, Jordan Riley showing immaculate strength and, well, couldn't pick out Henry. Promised much, produced little. Just over 30 seconds remaining. Will there be a winner? Cornwall certainly ensures that his team are not in the losing category. In fact, Ronald Paul
Could very well be the last attack for Defence Force.
Yes, King. Chance opening up here. Last roll of the dice, Corian goes down, hands in the air, ignored by the referee. Looking for Riley. Should be now or never for Defence Force. And it's, well,
Garcia.
never going to be, because the final whistle signals the end to an entertaining contest, one that has ebbed and has flowed, but has failed to produce a winner, as they will share the points in this fixture. Crucially for the Defence Force, it's dropped points, as Terminix Rangers have a chance in the later match to pull ahead. But at full time, between Deportivo Point 14 and the Defence Force, it's tied at 2 apiece. Your thoughts, Colin Murray?
Yes, certainly an excellent game here. Some very good goals by Jamil Cooper, the man of the match. For his, he was assisted in the first goal where he was brought down, and Brent Sam converted the penalty, and that wonder goal, that equalizer from Jamil Cooper was absolutely brilliant. It's the kind of goal you would really want to see the team winning the game, but here he actually produced that to ensure that Defence Force would share the points. But brilliant. Let's look at the highlights here, as a yellow card being shown, and the header from that corner, and the yellow card being shown there. There's a penalty from Sam after Cooper was brought down. Took it calmly and put it into the back of the net, away from the keeper. He had absolutely no chance. Terence Lewis, who had a very good evening, couldn't save that. He guessed the wrong way, and Brent Sam took an excellent penalty to make it 1-0 for Defence Force. There was Felix with the cross, brilliant, good save from Terence Lewis, and this free kick, oh my word, what a scorcher from Nathaniel Garcia. He banged it, took a little bit of a deflection, and it took a little deflection off of Bertrand and went to the left of the keeper, but he had absolutely no chance, and that was the equalizer from Nathaniel Garcia. And then the go-ahead goal sent right through was Henry. He looked up, he was composed, and then put it away from keeper Bigot to make the Deportivo team go 2-1 up in this clash. Brilliant effort from Henry. He was sent right through the defense, the heart of the defense. He took it well, looked up, and the composure was good. That's another good save from Lewis for a cross ball. And then the goal of the match. That's one dribble. He goes past. This is Cooper. Pushes. Seemed to take the shot. He dummied and then slipped it into the bottom corner. A brilliant goal from Jamil Cooper, and he put it into the back of the net to bring Defence Force level here at 2 goals all. He took that so well, and they brought the Defence Force level. There he is, Jamil Cooper, a brilliant equalizer, but there was Henry being shown the yellow card, a very late tackle on goalkeeper Bigot, and so 2-2 here at the end of this encounter, a really entertaining encounter between these two teams. Let's look at the stats. Deportivo, 19 shots to 9, so they dominated in that area. Shots on target, 11-4, and so you could see the domination there of Deportivo. Yellow cards, 3, Defence Force 1, and then the corners, very much 2-2, and 9 saves for Defence Force, 2 saves for Deportivo, but an encounter that went back and forth, and 2-2 here. It's ended up Defence Force and Deportivo, just like in round 1, when they drew 1-1 here, it was 2-2. Let's go to James. He's got the man of the match with him, and it's no surprise.
Well, that's right. I'm here with the man of the match, and I'm going to add an extra title to that. You've got the goal of the tournament for me so far. Jamil Cooper, how does it feel?
It feels great to get the goal of the tournament.
And man of the match, what do you thought of your performance?
Well, I thought we worked hard in training this week, and we just come and lay it all on the field.
All right, well, I certainly hope and pray that you do get the goal of the tournament, but you can take solace in taking that trophy home as the man of the match today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, so I'm going to head to the coach of the Defence Force, Mr. Lloyd Andrews, who is going to join me here. And what a match we've witnessed. And he did tell me prior to the match that he expected a very tactical battle, and he hoped it's not a boring match. It was far from that. It was far from boring, very exciting in the end. And 2 points. Satisfied with that, though?
Yes, I'm satisfied based on how the game went. However, I'd have preferred to get 3.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. You dropped some points, Tim, and explain later on. But it was a good match. How did you see it from the bench?
Well, the intensity of the game was nice. And the early mistakes we made not putting away our chances cost us.
Well, thank you so much, and we wish you best of luck going forward in the tournament.
Thanks very much.
All right, let me bring the other coach into the contest, Mr. Selvon Francis. He came up against Goliath, he swung his sling, and he got in some good blows, and you're sharing points today, and you're smiling. So does that mean that you're happy with the outcome of the match?
Not totally. I mean, it was a good game. You know, as I say, we come for 3 points. So, but we're not here to lose either. So at the end of the day, we'll take the point.
You got a bit closer to the top team in the competition in terms of points. Is that something that does bring some sort of satisfaction for you?
Yes, definitely, because we aiming for the top spot, right? This we're not satisfied with that top 4. You're not Champions League qualification in this. We want to go to the top, right? So getting closer, inch by inch, goal by goal, point by point, we're taking that.
Well, you certainly put on a good show for everybody this evening. Thank you very much, Coach.
Okay, thanks.
All right, Colin Murray is standing by to take us out.
So a 2-2 game here between Deportivo and the Defence Force. 2-2, so we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back here at the La Joqueta ground.